and I've had the urge to drink. And I thought my life was doing good. My name's Don Williams, and I'm from a small town about 23 miles southwest of Chicago. I actually grew up in Chicago, but now I live in Downers Grove, Illinois. I heard about M.E.E.T Ministry 2 years ago. My uncle is Dr. Thomas Jackson, my aunt is Laverne Jackson, and they are the directors of M.E.E.T Ministry. I've actually been to the M.E.E.T Ministry campus several times over the years. I've eaten in Manor House. I've toured this whole campus, including this house. How I got here seems to have been preordained. A couple of years ago, I retired from work, and I found myself sitting at home doing nothing, drinking myself to sleep. So I decided I needed to stop drinking, and I did. And it wasn't like it was any effort, and it wasn't like I planned it. It was as if God planned it, because the day I stopped drinking, I hadn't planned on stopping, but God arranged me to go to a meeting. I went to the meeting. I haven't had a drink since, and I haven't had the urge to drink. And I thought my life was doing good. I'm not drinking, and I'm staying out of trouble. And then things started happening in my life that normally, had I been drinking, I would have drank about them. I lost my grandson at the age of 23 to an overdose. I lost my daughter. She's my play daughter, but I kind of raised her, so I've always considered her my daughter, to cancer at the age of 37. I've had some other deaths in my life, close friends, especially during the pandemic. And I was saying to myself, why am I going through this? And I think it's because God was preparing me for what was in store. In November of last year, I got a diagnosis of prostate cancer. And I wasn't shocked. I mean, the lifestyle I've led all these years, I'm surprised that it was just prostate cancer. I was grateful that it was prostate cancer because I know that has a high success rate. The only thing is getting surgeries, getting operated on, messing with your hormones, messing with your manliness and all of that. I was trying to think of, do I want to go through this surgery thing? And the first thing that came to mind was M.E.E.T Ministry and a holistic approach. And when I thought about a holistic approach, I was thinking about just coming here and eating vegetables. You know, I wasn't really looking at what this is all about. I was thinking about just coming here and getting the physical aspect of my life in order. And then I got here, and this was a lot more than what I expected. It not only deals with the physical, it deals with the mental, and it deals with the spiritual. Before I can get the mental and the spiritual right, I have to get the physical right. Once I get the physical right, then I can start dealing with the mental. But before I can even get the physical or the mental, I had to have a spiritual aspect. And I do believe that that's how I made it to our home health retreat. I didn't come here on my own. I think God pointed me here. Dealing with the cancer and dealing with the deaths, retiring from work when I really didn't think I wanted to retire. I think all of that was God preparing me for this place. Coming here and actually delving into physical health through the spiritual and the mental was so much more than what I bargained for. But it makes so much more sense. How can I get my physical health in order when my spiritual health and my mental health is still in disarray? Physical health won't last long. If I get my mental health in order when my spiritual health is in disarray, my mental health won't last long. So I have to have all three legs of that three-legged stool together. If I only have two legs, that stool's gonna tip over. So I need all three legs. I need the physical, and I need the mental to prepare me for the physical. I need the spiritual to prepare me for the mental and the physical. I think that one of the most beautiful things about our home health retreat are the staff. They're very professional, they're very compassionate, they're very considerate, they're fair, and they believe in what they're doing. And they believe in the guest. It's through their motivation that I was able to do what I was able to do for the past 16 days. As far as exercising, I would go to the gym every morning for about 20 minutes and run on a treadmill and go home and think that was exercising. It wasn't until I got to our home where now I walk maybe 2 to 2.5 miles a day in nature, actually breathing fresh air, actually enjoying nature, actually taking time to stop and touch nature. Do I really see what exercise is all about? Exercise is more than physical. Exercise is also spiritual. Because when I'm out walking around this campus, I'm seeing God everywhere. A beautiful black butterfly that landed on my porch the other day, to a herd of deer that seems to follow me around when I'm walking. Every time I turn around, I'm seeing these 7 deer jump out the bushes somewhere, to just people driving by and waving. You don't get that in the big city, but I get that out here. Our home health retreat has been great for my physical, my mental, and my spiritual well-being. all three of them. What do I expect to get out of this when I leave here? Some semblance of discipline, but more than that, of faith that God can carry me through this. Strongly believe that he brought me to this, so I know he'll see me through this. Prior to March, this was not on my mind. Even after the cancer diagnosis, this was not on my mind. Early March, I decided I would talk to my uncle about M.E.E.T ministry and see if that would be a fit for me. And what he told me was I had to keep a positive attitude and I had to believe. And when he said I had to believe, that is to believe in the power of Jesus. I grew up in a church. I grew up religious. I grew up believing. So that part was easy. I do know the power of Jesus. I do know I believe in the power of Jesus. Keeping a positive attitude when I'm about to change my whole life. A life that I've known for 69 going on 70 years. A life that I've never done differently. In the past 16 days has been totally upended. And I don't see myself going back to that life. Because what I've gained from M.E.E.T ministry and our home health retreat is a whole new way to look at life, to look at my physical life, my mental life, and my spiritual life. And I know without God, none of it's possible. And that's where I am today. I was totally surprised that my mental and spiritual health would be rejuvenated here, as well as my physical health. So that was absolutely a bonus to get both of those. I didn't know what to expect from this, but I'm so glad that I got so much more than what I expected. And I recommend that if you're going through anything, and it doesn't have to be physical, it could be mental, or more importantly, it could be spiritual, and you want to get it back together and you want to get in good with the Lord, give M.E.E.T ministry a try, especially our home retreat. You won't regret it. Thank you.